Today, we're diving into a topic that stirs the passion of sport fans around the world, the intense world of sports rivalries. Now, whether you're a diehard fan or just someone who enjoys a good game, you've probably felt the electric atmosphere when rival teams face off. I'm talking about those matchups that get everyone talking, like the legendary football clashes between Barcelona and Real Madrid, or the historic baseball face-offs between the Yankees and the Red Sox. These are not just games, they're battles that have fans on the edge of their seats. But have you ever stopped to wonder, what is about these rivalries that make them so intense? Why do they capture our attention, year after year, game after game? Is it the history, the close matches, or maybe something more? Well, that's exactly what we're here to explore today. We're going to peel back the layers of sports rivalries, looking at their history, psychological battles, and the cultural significances to them. By the end of this video, we'll understand not just why these rivalries are so important to us fans, but also how they shape the sports we love. So buckle up, because we're about to dive into the anatomy of sports rivalries. And who knows, you might just see your favorite rivalry in a whole new light. Alright, let's dive into the history books and cover the roots of sports rivalries. Believe it or not, the competitive spirit we see on the field today is nothing new. Going back to ancient times, competitions were not just about the thrill of the win, but also about honor, pride, and even survival. From the original Olympic Games in ancient Greece to chariot races in Rome, rivalries have always been at the heart of sports. But where do these intense rivalries come from? Well, it often boils down to a few key ingredients. First, there's geographical proximity. There's something about sharing a border or being from the same region that adds an extra layer of intensity to competition. It's not just a game, it's about local bragging rights. Then, we have historical conflicts. Some rivalries are steeped in a history that goes beyond the sport itself, reflecting long-standing disputes or tension between communities or nations. Now let's spotlight in some iconic rivalries to see how these elements come together. Take the fierce rivalry between Barcelona and Real Madrid, known as El Clásico. This rivalry transcends football, embodying the political and cultural tension between Catalonia and the rest of Spain. Every match is more than just a game, it's a chapter in a historical saga that's been unfolding for over a century. Another classic example is a rivalry between the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees in baseball. This rivalry captures the essence of geographical proximity and competitive balance. With both teams being powerhouse in Major League Baseball, their encounters are highly anticipated events, drawing fans from all over to witness the latest installment in their storied competition. These rivalries, with their deep historical roots and complex backgrounds, shows that sports are more than just games. They're narratives woven into the fabric of our culture, reflecting our histories, our conflicts, and our passions. Let's explore the psychological battlegrounds of sports rivalries. These contests are not just the physical, but also deeply emotional and psychological, both for the athletes involved and the communities they represent. First up, the role of identity. Teams and athletes are more than just competitors. They become symbols of communities, cities, and sometimes even countries. This identification transforms each game into representations of us versus them, imbuing matches with intense emotional significance. When your team wins, it's not just a victory on the scoreboard, it feels like a personal victory, and a loss, that can feel like a personal slight. This brings us to the concept of in-group versus out-group dynamics, a core principle of social identity theory. In the realm of sports, this theory illuminates why we often feel such a strong connection to our team, the in-group, and our rivalry against the opposing team, the out-group. This division creates a strong sense of belonging and a loyalty among fans. It can also lead to an intense emotions and sometimes even hostility towards rival fans. But what about the athletes and coaches themselves? The psychological impact on them is profound. The motivation derived from a rivalry game can push players to exceed their limits, driven by the desire not to let down their teammates, fans, and communities, sometimes even the entire country. However, this motivation comes from its own set of challenges. The pressure to perform in high-stakes rivalry games can be immense, leading to anxiety and stress. And then there's the fear of losing. In rivalry games, the fear or defeat is just about losing a match. It's about letting down an entire community or a nation that has invested their hopes and identity in the outcome. These psychological elements add layers of complexity to sports rivalries, transforming them into epic battles that are fought not just physical skills, but mental fortitude as well. Understanding this mental aspect helps us appreciate why these games are so much more than just a sport. They're a reflection of human nature itself, with all its ambitions, fears, and internal quest for belonging. Now, let's turn the spotlight to the stands, where the heart of any rivalry truly beats, the fans. Their engagement through traditions, rituals, and sportsmanship defines the unique atmosphere of sports rivalries and cements their place in the fabric of our communities. First off, the impact of rivalries on fan behavior is both profound and multifaceted. Every rivalry comes with its own set of traditions and rituals, passed down through generations of fans. These can range from pre-game ceremonies to post-game celebrations, special chants, and even superstitions that fans can influence the outcomes of a game. These rituals do more than just boost the team spirit. They foster a sense of identity and continuity among fans, creating a communal bond that's incredibly powerful. Sportsmanship too plays a critical role. Despite the intense emotions and sometimes fierce loyalty that can come with sports rivalries, there's oftentimes an underlying respect among fans for the tradition and the competition itself. The sportsmanship is crucial and ensures that rivalries enrich the sport culture rather than distract from the negativity or violence. The role of media in these dynamics cannot be overstated. Through coverage, commentary, and storytelling, these media shapes and amplifies rivalries, often building up the anticipation for weeks before the actual event. This amplification not only heightens the excitement, but also draws in casual fans, making the rivalry accessible to a broader audience, further intensifying the sense of community. Looking ahead, the future of sports rivalries appears bright. As our world continues to evolve, so too will the nature of these competitions. New rivalries will emerge, older ones will deepen, and the stories they generate will continue to captivate us. The evolving role of sports in society promises that rivalries will remain an essential part of our cultural landscape, adapting and growing with us, reflecting our shared humanity through the lens of competition. In the end, sports rivalries remind us of the power of sports to inspire, to unite, and to celebrate the human spirit in all its competitive glory. And that wraps up our deep dive in the anatomy of a sports rivalry, right here up on Up in the Rafters. But the conversation doesn't end with us, it's just getting started. We want to hear from you. What's your favorite sports rivalry? Is there a story, a moment, or a match that stands out to you? Drop your tales and memories in the comments below. Let's keep the history alive by sharing your experiences and celebrating the rivalries that brought us to the edge of our seats. If you enjoyed this journey through the heart of sports rivalries, do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to Up in the Rafters, and follow us for more content exploring the rich history and vibrant culture of sports. We got plenty more stories to tell, mysteries to unravel, and legends to celebrate. We can't wait for you to join us on this journey. Remember, whether you're up in the rafters or down in the field, it's the passion for the game that unites us all. Until next time, keep the spirit of competition alive and well, and we'll see you in the next video.